In this video we'll cover what not to do when you're traveling to England. From enchanting small towns to the cosmopolitan cities like London. You'll probably agree England is one of the must-visit places. But what are some of the absolute tones of England, knowing this might help make your trip more pleasant? This video is based on our many trips to England. Don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to our channel and enable notifications, and share your own experience or ask a question in the comments below. Let's explore. First of all, let's just get rid of this one right away. Don't confuse England with the United Kingdom or Britain. The United Kingdom, or shortly UK, stands for the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, commonly referred to as just the United Kingdom, which consists of 4 different entities with its own government's distinctive national identity and culture. Great Britain, also known as Britain, is the UK's main island and includes England, Wales and Scotland, while most of the traditions are the same across the UK. There are some distinct differences between them. So let's explore England, where London is located. Don't assume all food is bad, although British food is not considered the best in the world. You can find some great traditional efficient chips and other international food varieties in England, especially in the last couple of years in bigger cities like London. Talking about food here is just a quick info about lunch and dinner time. The typical English lunchtime or luncheon is between noon and 1:30 p.m. And the English eat dinner or supper at the restaurants between 6:38 p.m. Don't eat in the restaurants located next to main tourist attractions. Restaurants next to famous attractions, especially in big cities, are many times a tourist trap and are sometimes overpriced, especially those selling fish and chips. There are many great places located just a short walk away. Use Google TripAdvisor to find a great place near you with good reviews. Also, don't forget to visit one of countless food and other markets in London and other places around England. Don't assume tipping is a mandatory. Tipping in England is not mandatory. However, if there is no service charge included in your bill and you're satisfied with your service, a tip of around 10% is appreciated when you order at the table. Don't assume everything stops for an afternoon tea. Afternoon tea is actually a light meal that includes tea and is typically eaten between 3:35 p.m. Although the people of England love a nice cup of tea. And you've probably heard about the famous 4 o'clock tea break. People don't just take a break in the afternoon and stop working to enjoy some tea sandwiches and cake. It became more common to drink tea when you go for a visit, where you can take time to enjoy it properly and have long conversations while sipping your cup of tea and a quick protein. Drink your tea the way people in England do, with milk. Don't assume they don't drink coffee in England, while people to drink a lot of tea, over 160 million cups per day. Coffee is gaining popularity and 70 million cups of coffee are being consumed in the UK. The coffee in England is similar to the one you will find in the United States. Of course, at Starbucks and similar coffee shops, you can get anything. Don't drive if you feel unsure if you want to drive around England in the UK. You need to be prepared to drive on the left side of the road. Also, some cars still have a stick shift, so don't forget to ask for an automatic. If you really want to explore beautiful villages and breathtaking nature, you will have to rent a car. If you're coming from a country that uses metric system, pay attention, because the UK uses imperial system for roads, with some exceptions where you might see both metric and imperial system used on the same side. Pay attention to road signs and speed limits. Use your phone for navigation, but pay extra attention to the road. If you feel unsure of driving in England or elsewhere in the UK, use internal flights or convenient train transportation to travel between main British cities like between London, Bristol, Birmingham, Liverpool, Manchester and others. Once you're in the city, you can walk around or use public transportation. Did you know that you can even take a train from London to Paris and it will only take a little over 2 hours? Don't forget to look right when crossing the street unless stated otherwise. Be very careful when crossing streets. Always look right, left, right. There is also a sign on the road that says look right or look left. Just follow that. Pay extra attention when in traffic, regardless of your mode of transportation. Since they drive on the left, don't stand on the wrong side of an escalator. Stand on the right side, since the left side is reserved for the people in a hurry. Don't expect to party all night long. Most bars and pubs, especially in London, close by 11 p.m. While there are many great party places in England, you will probably have better luck in Peace of Berlin or Prague if you want to party all night long. But do go visit at least one of the pubs while you're there, as it is an exciting experience. Don't forget to check how many daytime hours there are when you visit if you want to experience more attractions during the daytime. Don't visit England between October and April. The country is located in the northern part of Europe and days are longer during the summer. Right in winter, The sun sets between 4 and 5 p.m. as opposed to the salmon ones when it sets around 9 p.m. So keep this in mind when booking your stay. By the way, check out our video on the top 10 things to do in London or buy our London travel guide. Don't forget to visit free museums. England and especially London is home to some of the most amazing museums in the world, and many of them are completely free of charge. Don't visit just the touristy places. Don't just travel to London, and definitely don't try to see all of England in 1 week, since the England mainland alone extends over 650 kilometers or around 400 miles from beautiful coastal towns, cobblestone villages, breathtaking castles and villas, prehistoric Stonehenge, best Roman, spa, centuries-old universities like Oxford or Cambridge to picturesque hills and stunning landscape. There are plenty of other places to explore. Don't expect the rest of England to be cheaper than London. London is one of the most expensive cities in the world, and that also applies to accommodation, transportation, food and activities for tourists. But prices in the rest of England can also be quite high. Of course, the accommodation prices depend on manufacturers such as time of your visit, the type of accommodation or location. You can get cheaper options if you book budget, frantic guest houses or hostels, or if you sleep outside city centers. Don't forget to bring comfortable clothes and shoes. Don't bring a heavy suitcase backlight and smart and plan to wear the most comfortable clothes and footwear, because you'll probably do a lot of walking while exploring the cities in nature and just a quick dip. If you bring a carry-on suitcase, you will be able to get flights to other destinations around the UK and across Europe a lot cheaper, since most flights don't charge for carry-on luggage, only charge a small fee. Don't assume it rains every day, and although it doesn't rain daily, we do suggest backing a raincoat, light umbrella and waterproof shoes, and always check for the weather forecast before traveling. Don't stay only at hotels, choose to stay at an Airbnb instead, especially if you're visiting the countryside. There are many beautiful and authentic accommodation options you'll remember forever. Don't forget to watch your belongings. England is generally a safe destination, so you normally shouldn't be worried about specific areas to avoid or staying inside at night. However, typical for all major world destinations packed with tourists, there are quite a lot of pickpockets, especially in the crowded areas close to major attractions and on public transport. Don't jump the queue whether you're waiting for ice cream or for people coming out of the tube. People in England respect the line, so be patient while waiting for your turn. Don't greet inappropriately. People in the UK are generally more reserved than, for instance, people in Italy or Spain or the US. Hugs and kisses are usually reserved for close friends and family, so go for a handshake instead. Don't forget to be on time if you're meeting someone for lunch, or meeting people in England are very punctual. They respect and value. If you're on time, don't do small talk, especially not on public transport. People here are generally reserved, so don't do small talk and don't make eye contact if not necessary. They might feel very uncomfortable and confused. Don't forget to say please and thank you. Don't forget to say please and thank you when you're ordering food in restaurants and other places with services. The majority of English people are very polite, and they show their appreciation very often. They do apologize a lot. However, we also experienced some underlying mood when they might say please and thank you in a more assertive way. So try to read between the lines and the people. Don't forget to bring a travel adapter if you're coming from outside the UK. You will need a special UK travel adapter to charge your phone and other devices. England uses Type G plaque. We recommend purchasing a travel adapter before traveling to England, so you will not have to deal with this when you arrive and might pay more at the airport. In fact, it is worth purchasing the universal travel adapter so you can use it in other countries. Still, are you traveling to London? Continue to our video on what you absolutely must know before you travel there.